if I'm a Devin Haney fan, which I'm not, never could be, only, fake ass father, fake ass, fake ass camp produce fake ass fans for the most part. Shout out to the real ones, but fake ass, fake ass YouTube channel, fake ass fan base, just fake. Totally fake. So, with a fake ass leader in Bill Haney, like, that's the type of fan base that they have. But long story short, though, Devin Haney and Bill Haney, bro, they looking like they might be losing this Brian Norman Jr. fight before the fight even happened, bro. Because Brian Norman Sr. is all inside of Bill Haney's head, cooking that ninja right and left. He been cooking Bill Haney from the moment they announced the fight, bro. Got Bill all scared and shit, trying to cop out the damn fight. Over on Malachi, Coach Malachi shit, New Media Today, USA, Coach Malachi and them. Over there copping out, calling Tay Jones behind the scenes. Got people falling out with Tay Jones that used to be cool with him and shit. Got motherfuckers falling out, used to be Brian Norman Jr. fans. Now they don't like Brian Norman no more. All because Devin fighting him, bro. Just cooking Bill, bro. Doing Bill dirty. And it was no difference in this clip from what I'm about to pay y'all to the boxing voice. And I ain't usually one to give advice to Brian Norman Jr. or give advice to Devin Haney and Bill Haney because I don't like neither one of them. I'm not a fan. The only person out of them four that I like is Brian Norman Jr. because I like the way that young man fight. I ain't gonna hold you. I like how he bring that shit. Straight up. He pressure, bro. He bringing pressure. You feel me? Like I'm fucking with it. Other than that, though, I ain't no fan of Brian Norman Sr. I ain't no fan of Bill Haney, and I ain't no fan of Devin Haney, bro. But I'm gonna give y'all my authentic opinion. And I love videos like this. Cause anybody watching this shit, you can't be like, well, you only doing that shit because you like Brian. Or you only doing that shit because you like Bill. Or you only doing it because you like Devin. Or you only doing it because you like Brian Jr. Everybody watching this shit, no, I ain't a fan of neither one of them. So I'm going to tell you what I truly think. I do that shit all the time anyway, but I just get so tired of people coming in my comment. Oh, you only saying that because you a Tank fan. Oh, you only saying that because you don't like this. Oh, you only... Nigga, I'm saying it because this is what I truly believe, bro. I don't get in front of this camera and fake. Straight up. But I'm so happy to be able to talk on a topic like this because I can't be accused of playing favorites, so to speak. But let me play for y'all what Bill Haney and Brian Norman Jr.'s, Brian Norman Sr.'s back and forth over on the Boxing Voice, and then let me react to it and tell y'all why I think the Haneys are losing this fight before it even happens. Smash the like button. Subscribe. I'll see y'all soon.
Squeeze down into that motherfucker. And guess what's gonna happen? The night of November 22nd, Dam's gonna beat the shit out of him. Because guess what? He need to take his ass and go on up somewhere else. Because he been sticking around. Listen, let me tell you, he's sticking around. And he been sticking around. He been sticking around because he ain't like that. But I'm not trying to come out and listen, I'm not trying to come out and kill the fight. What I'm trying to tell you is that he's a bad motor scooter. And on November 22nd, and on November 22nd, and on November 22nd,
slow ass another way to look at it. Let me give you a slow ass another way to look at it.
Come on.
He walked around at 152 pounds and still fought 147.
His whole life?
When he went pro, he walked around at 152 pounds, and that's what he fought at 147.
But he stayed 147 his whole career.
Are you listening to what I'm telling you?
8 years?
No. So whereas
No. He's never left the division.
This is what I'm saying to your slow ass. Whereas your son would have been walking around at 150, 152 and squeezed down to 135, we didn't want to do that because we man enough to fight bigger motherfuckers our size. We man enough to get in there with motherfuckers 175 pounds, 165 pounds. We man enough to do that and walking around at 150. Wait. We man enough at 147 to go, and my son walking around 152 to step in the ring with a man 160.
Your son is walking around at 152 right now.
No, that ain't what I said. I said then.
All right, so there you have it. Brian Norman Sr., first of all, throughout this whole build-up, he been cooking Bill. He cooked Bill over on Coach Malachi-ish bad. They still ain't recovered. He cooked him on the whole drug stuff thing about Brian Norman Jr. testing and what they agreed to. He had Bill Haney copping pleas left and right. First, Bill Haney was copping pleas, calling Tay Jones behind the scene, trying to get out of the fight and shit. Got people falling out behind it. all because Bill thought Tay Jones was something that he wasn't. Tay Jones is clearly more of a Team Norman guy than a Team Devin guy, and Tay Jones exposed Bill Haney ass over there on Coach Malachi. Then you got Bill Haney and Devin Haney agreeing to the fight, promoting the fight, and then all of a sudden they need a last-minute drug testing change. After agreeing to the drug testing, now they want more testing. Just getting cooked and coming across scary as shit, like they know their time is up type shit. Then you fast forward to what the clip I just played for y'all. And Brian Norman Sr. basically said that Devin and Bill some hoes, and Bill couldn't do nothing but try to deflect and sit there and get cooked. If you listen to the clip, Brian Norman Sr. told that man, look, bro, my son, when he first came into the game, he was walking around 152. And I'm paraphrasing here, but you go back and listen to the clip I just played, y'all. I'm paraphrasing, but long story short, he like, y'all some hoes. Y'all came in the game 150, 155. Y'all shrink down to 135, looking for an advantage. We came in the game 152. We fighting at 147 because we man. We ain't scared of no 165, 170 nigga because we know what we bringing. And then Bill tried to flip it. Oh, so he 152 right now? He said, no, that's not what I said. Just cooking Bill in every aspect, bro. Brian Norman Sr. full of shit when it comes to Jerron Boutinez. But boy, he been on Bill Haney helmet from the moment this fight became a reality, or we thought that it could be a reality, bro. Now, the reason I say that Devin and Bill could be this fight could already be over. Y'all understand me? We only, 3-4 weeks away from it? Like a month out, this fight could already be over, bro. And you just don't know it, and I just don't know it yet. But I'm looking at energy, bro. And I see Bill and Devin trying to match the Norman's energy. And you just can't. Because when you hear Bill on camera saying, my son gonna beat the shit out of you. He gonna beat the shit out of your son, bro. This is the same shit y'all did with Ryan Garcia. And you would think that they would learn from that Ryan Garcia situation, bro. Because if you take away Ryan Garcia being a drug cheat, Bill Haney was over emotional during the build-up. Bill Haney was intent on making sure Devin proved the point on Ryan Garcia, and he was going back and forth with Henry Garcia. He was going back and forth with Ryan Garcia. He was talking about how Devin was going in there to kill Ryan Garcia, how he was going to beat the mess out of Ryan Garcia. And all that emotion, all that bravado, all that shit talking, it bled into Devin, and Devin went in that ring that night as an emotional, overcharged ass fighter, doing stupid shit, fighting stupid and not fighting to his game plan. And he got clipped for that shit over and over again. You think Devin, who has Bill Haney as his trainer, he's going to match his daddy's energy, bro? Talking all crazy, talking about my son going to beat the ish out of you. Man, look, we all know the worst kept secret in boxing, specifically for this fight, is that the only way Devin Haney can win this fight is by survival, bro. The only way Devin Haney can win this fight is by limiting exchanges with Brian Norman Jr., staying away from Brian Norman Jr.'s power, using lateral movement, and fighting to a similar game plan that he had with Jose Ramirez, bro. All this beat the shit up. Man, you ain't standing at mid-range and exchanging punches with Brian Norman Jr., bro. He not finna fight on the inside with Brian Norman Jr. Devin Haney's garbage on the inside, bro. He can't fight on the inside. That's why when people get close to him, he try to clinch him. He don't frame shit, post shit, push the head down, throw shots on the inside, uppercut. He don't do that shit, man. He ain't fighting on the inside. He clinching on the inside because he can't fight in there, bro. Straight up. But you got Bill on camera over and over again trying to pop it back with Brian Norman Sr., trying to match his energy, bro. That's not going to work, fam. They need to be quiet. They need to stay away from all that talking. And they need to not fall into the game and fall into the trap of making this shit about emotion and making this shit about proving how tough you are, bro. You've been down this road before. And I'm telling you right now, if they don't come into this fight with the right mindset, shit over with. It might be over with anyway because it's a horrible matchup for Devin, bro. It's a horrible matchup for Devin. You in there with somebody that can match your footwork. You in there with somebody that can match your athleticism. Somebody that's bigger and stronger than you. And somebody that got the most power that you ever been in the ring with. That's an underrated athlete that's faster than what you think. And you're going to mess around getting that bitch and it's going to get real ugly for you real quick. You mess around with the wrong energy. It could even get ugly even if you got the right energy, bro. Straight up. Straight up. So this idea, bro, that Bill Haney's trying to get people to believe that Devin's gonna beat the ish out of Brian Norman Jr., bro, stop it. Devin Haney beat the ish out of Regis Prograis. He beat the ish out of George Kambosos in the second fight. This is a completely different monster, bro. This is something completely different in front of you. Imagine George Kambosos in the ring with Brian Norman Jr., bro. Put Regis Prograis. Put the 34, 35-year-old Regis Prograis in the ring with Brian Norman Jr. He's not lasting 4 or 5 rounds, in my opinion. George Kambosos not lasting 4 or 5 rounds with Brian Norman Jr., in my opinion, bro. Not the champion Brian Norman Jr., not the dude that fought Giovanni Santillan and Derek Cuevas and this Japanese dude. That dude there, too poised, punching too hard, too patient, coming into his own, too strong. Man, get the fuck, what? Bro, look, let me tell y'all something, dog. I will be surprised if Devin ain't rattled the first time Brian Norman Jr. touch him. I anticipate the first time Brian Norman Jr. lands cleanly on Devin Haney, his whole body might shut down. His whole body might shut down and he might fucking panic, bro. Straight up. I don't believe Bill Haney. When I hear Bill Haney talking and going back and forth with Brian Norman Sr., it don't hit the same. Because number one, Brian Norman Sr. is cooking his ass. But number two, we know you made calls behind the scenes, homeboy. We know that you didn't really want this fight, bro. We know that you tried to wiggle out of it. We know that you tried to use the drug test and shit as a way to try to find a way out. But they called your bluff and accepted it at every turn. And I keep saying this shit, bro. Top rank matchmakers are some of the best in the game. They're very experienced. Bob Arum is one of the best in the game. He's very experienced. And Bob Arum said a long time ago, if it's my champion, I'm not putting my champion in the ring and setting him up with no fight unless I know they got an 80% to 90% chance to win. Unless I know they got an 80%, 90% chance to win, I'm not setting them up for that fight. Now, the only way I see Bob Arum doing that shit is if it's a huge money fight against, Pacquiao versus Floyd. If Brian Norman Jr. were to get the Pacquiao fight or some shit. But I'm sure he still favor Brian at this point in their careers. You know what I mean? But if you see Brian Norman Jr. and Boots Ennis come calling and Bob like, I ain't fucking with that shit. I ain't fucking with that shit. It should be glaring that when Boots Ennis side called for Brian Norman Jr., Bob Arum like, I'm straight. I'm straight, nigga. We got Cuevas for you. Don't you take your ass over there. But as soon as they come calling for Haney, Bob and Top Rank were like, yeah, go ahead. We good. We good. And Bob started talking shit. Hey, man, we about to knock out this track star. Our guy about to knock out this track star. But I want y'all to pay attention to this fake toughness of Bill and Devin. And I call it fake toughness because they not going to fight how they talking. Devin ain't going to go in there and try to beat the shit out of Brian Norman Jr. He going to go in there and try to survive and try to outpoint him. And you already got the mental edge gone. The mental edge is already in favor of the Normans because both of these fighters' teams are saying the same thing. Bill Haney is saying, my son going to beat your son ass. Brian Norman Sr. is saying, my son going to beat your son up and he going to stop him. He about to mess your son up. They both saying the same thing. However, Brian Norman Jr. is the one that's actually going to fight how his daddy is talking and be comfortable doing so. Devin Haney cannot fight how his daddy is talking about him. So you already losing the mental edge because you don't even believe the shit you saying. It's a huge, huge problem, bro. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash the like, sub to the channel. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.